Induction system of carburetor, a device used to mix or meter the fuel with an air professions that satisfy the energy demands of the engine in all phases of operations. Venturi vacuum is utilized to pull in the correct amount of petrol through a discharge tube. More petrol is drawn in as venturi vacuum increases, and less the vacuums decreases. Venturi is a streamlined restriction that part closes the carburetor board. Air is forced to speed up as it enters the venturi to passes through a restrictions. Restrictions of the formation of a vacuum below the venturi. Engine speed increase during the accelerations, more air is drawn to the carburetor. These are the imagination of venturi construction. Point highlighted, velocity and vacuum. No vacuum means indicate 0. High vacuum the maximum indicated. The medium vacuum is the middle. Air drawn into the engine during the intake stroke. Air horn, venturi, atmospheric pressure enter the partially vacuum this area, fuel nozzle, throttle valve, fuel reservoir. The carburetions, the three general stage involved in carburation: metering, automation, vaporization. The metering, in process of carburation, the fuel is metered into the air passing through the barrel of the carburetor. Ideal air fuel ratio called as stoichiometric ratio 14.7 equal to 1. 14.7 is to 1. If there is more the fuel in the mixer is called a rich mixer. If less fuel is called lean mixer. The amount of fuel meter into the air and depend on amount of air passing through the carburetor, engine temperature, low speed requirement, amount of oxygen in extreme exhaust streams. Automation, the stage where the metered fuel is pulled into the airstream in the form of tiny droplets through the discharge ports. Vaporization, surface area, amount of surrounding air, venturi effect help to create a fine mist of fuel below the venturi in the board. Turbulence and heat within intake manifold cylinder also enhance vaporization. The purpose of carburetor, supply the combustible mixer for the spark ignition engine by automation and vaporization the liquid petrol. Mixing it with air in correct proportions to meet the engine requirements. Allow the driver control the amount of air fuel mixture that enter the cylinder by controlling the throttle plate. Carburetor classifications. There are several ways how to carburetors are classified. The carburetor draft define the art of pulling or drawing air. Three types of carburetor draft systems: down draft, slide draft, updraft. The down draft air flowing vertically down into the engine. Air flow through the carburetor in horizontal directions. The air fuel entering the engine's upward directions. The single barrel used on the smallest engines that do not require a large quantity of air fuel. A double barrel, two throttle plates and ventures, both barrels are size of the barrel difference. Four barrels engines operated into during the most devices driving conditions. When more power is needed, the other two barrels and fuel to increase the amount of horsepower torque produced by the engines.